merchandise. They were unbelievable. And then I was stupid enough to say, look, down the line, I said, I'd like to have a match with one of my teams. So we go on the Brotherly Love show, and on the show, we've got on one side of the ring, Jimmy Hart, along with Earthquake and Typhoon, and on the other side's the Bushwhackers, and their surprise partner is Andre the Giant. So, oh my God, what did I do this for? This is crazy. I have never been licked so hard in my life by the Bushwhackers and squashed by Andre. After that, I said, Pat, please, no more Bushwhacker matches. But under 2 minutes, okay, we got a couple of seconds left. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member to the Cauliflower Alley Club, Luke of the Bushwhackers.
Thank you very much. We love you, baby. Well, g'day, mateys. How are you doing tonight? I'm honored to be here tonight on behalf of Butch and myself to receive these awards from Cauliflower Alley. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Brian said the church told me to get me here. The hell I am. I've been asked to come here for many, many years. But this is the first time I'm here, and it won't be the last. If I can get it out. When I started in this business, I'd never seen wrestling. I'd never heard of it. In New Zealand, we didn't even have television to 69. And in 61, my next door neighbor won a bodybuilding contest, and the judge there said to my next door neighbor, he said, do you want to make some money with that body? And he said, yeah. Well, he said, come into this gym. And then we're open there 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, we're training. And that's so he started going there. Now this, 6 months down the road, he says, for me to come. Now I was 175 pound wet then. And I started coming to this gym. If you saw the first Rocky movie, that's how the gym was. Kettlebells lying around the floor. There was only 2 machines in it. Well, not even machines. A bench press rack, a rack, and a squat rack. But over on one side of there was 2 boxing rings. The floor was hard as the floors that you're standing on. Was sitting there. The rings were 20 by 20 and 4 ropes. They were boxing rings. And that's how the rings were in New Zealand at that time. We were doing rounds. I started wrestling in 1962. And I was a light heavyweight then, or junior heavyweight, whatever you want to call it. And Butch was still playing rugby. That's why his ankles had been broken, and he was a bit rough in the face. And he joined me. He was training at the YMCA, and he started coming to our gym where Coolman's. That's where all the Commonwealth Championships, Commonwealth Game guys came when they came to New Zealand. All the champions, wrestling and boxing. Anyhow, we partnered up in 65, and then we started going to the Middle East, and then Singapore, Bangkok, and Penang, and all those places. Before that, Jim Barnett opened in Australia. You've heard of Jim Barnett? Yeah, Jimmy, my boy. And he came into Australia in 66, 65. I don't know whether you know the story why he had to get out of the States, but a few people know. Anyhow, he opened up Australia and he bought all American wrestling. The WCW, World Championship Wrestling. That was his brand. And even the announcers and the television commentators, they were all American. And of course, they brought in Killer Kowalski and they popped the place wide. And that was the start of WCW in Australia. It was loaded with all the top American wrestlers coming down there. And we used to go over there and of course get squashed in a few minutes. But we made good paychecks. Joe was always good with the money. Anyhow, after touring around the East, with Singapore and Japan, 1972, we decided to come to North America. Now, Andre had come to New Zealand in the 60s, and Butcher and me had worked around the country in handicap matches. I told you what we did in the ring, you'd laugh today, but the people popped at that time. Andre could drop kick and he was a big man. And a big attraction. I'd never seen a guy like that. And he came to Montreal in 1971 for the Vachons and Edward Carpentier. I guess you've all heard about Maurice Vachon and Butcher Vachon and the flying Frenchman Edward Carpentier. And we followed 6 months later to the same company. And he was tagged up with Edward Carpentier and the Vachon brothers. Dino was a young kid, Dino Bravo was a young kid then with Gino Brito. And we were lucky. We started working with the main guys straight away, so we had a great run there. And after that, the promoter said, well, we've been looking after you here, putting you over. If you stay any longer, we'll have to start jobbing you. Help me to put over the next crew coming. He said, but we can ship you out and bring you back later. And he said, we've got a promotion to send you to. And we said, yeah. He said, Stampede Wrestling. Now we have someone here from Atlanta. And the son of the promoters here tonight, and the granddaughter, Natalie, Ross, and even TJ, who was trained in the dungeon. Stu loved us, believe it or not, and we went down to the dungeon, but we never went on the mat. We never went on the mat, but I watched a lot of people. He'd get them, tell them to get on their hands and knees, and he was slow in the back of them, put that hold on, and I said, Stu, Stu. Yeah. They'd defecate, pee themselves, and that's a fact. A lot of people come through there, but after they went through with them there, he took them on and trained them. And that was our start in Canada, coming across there. And then we ventured into North America. First Hawaii for, I'm trying to think now of the promoter there. Huh? Ed Francis. His son was this is another story. Ed Francis. Now his son was playing for the Patriots. The Patriots and that. I'm in the dressing room, not knowing that his son played football. And all of a sudden this guy goes over the line and scores. Next minute, he's got his hands in a bucket of ice, and he's in a box with a phone in his hand. And I'm saying, look at that fucking, look at that effing sissy. Look at that sissy. And then Ed is standing right behind me, and the dad, and all the boys were looking at me and laughing at that. And I didn't realize that was his son. And then we moved into the States, Oregon, and NWA in Charlotte. Next month we got the call from Vinnie Mac. Well, Pat Patterson, I went, picked up the phone in Columbus, Ohio. I picked up the phone and he could pull up my calls. And there was a voice, a call from Pat, and he said, Pat, my name's Pat, give me a call back. It didn't ring a bell to me. Didn't ring a bell. So I rang this number, and he said, Pat here, and he said, the guy wants to talk to you. And all I heard was, "G'day Kiwi." It was Vince McMahon. Next minute we're up there, and the gentleman here tonight, who was on the stage before, Bruce Pritchard, we came in and we started doing vignettes, and Bruce put them all together. We did some wild vignettes, wild ones. And at that time, Crocodile D2 was out. So we just got on board of that movie and started copying some of the things, because that was a very popular movie. And then we did these vignettes. They said, we'll give you a month and a half of vignettes, and we'll have you in the ring. We only did 2 weeks of them, and I think the 3rd week we were in the ring. And that's how I started the WWE. Now, just think that 2 little guys from New Zealand who had never seen wrestling before, who are now in the #1 company in North America, in the world, everywhere. But the country had only had 3 million people and 100 million sheep, and every guy had a smile on his face. I've had many sheep jokes thrown at me over the years. Anyhow, I'm here tonight on behalf of Cauliflower Alley and my good friend Brian Blair, and I thank you all for this great award. And Brian, I appreciate what you did when I had that. Remember Hulk Hogan at my place on Clearwater Beach? You come up and did a speech for me, and I was very pleased with that. It's been a sad period for the last 2 weeks. I had a gym on Clearwater Beach, and Hogan was there 5 days a week for 10 years. And all of a sudden, bang, he's gone. And it's been very hard on me with all the things happening, and now I see all the negative stuff online still getting to me. And here's the guy that put our business. Vince had the platform, but he had to get that ringleader, and that was Hulk Hogan, and he had good surrounding. I don't think Cauliflower Alley would be as strong as it is today without the Hulkster at the start. He's got all the fans interested in our business, and it's growing. Our business is growing. Now it's on Netflix, worldwide, ESPN's taking next year, and it's just going forward all the time. Anyhow, thank you for the award. I appreciate it, and I love you all.